that means that by the time that they book a session, they've pretty much sold themselves into an album without you saying anything. They pretty much know that when they walk out of your boudoir studio with their final product, it is going to be an album. Hey, boudoir photographers, are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey there, and welcome back to Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. I have been recording podcasts all day today. I think this is the third one in the last 2.5 hours or so. So give me grace, be patient with me. And if you see me, if you're watching the YouTube video, yes, I'm wearing my glasses because my eyes hurt after looking at my podcast notes and scripts for the last couple hours. So be patient with me. And what I want to talk about today is the 3 things that no one is going to tell you about being a boudoir photographer. I do think that there are a lot of things that are withheld when people are telling you about boudoir photography, and I am just going to give you all the tea. So buckle up and here we go. First of all, I'm just going to come out and say it. Boudoir photography is extremely lucrative. It is a very lucrative business adventure, and I would recommend it to any photographer ever. Mostly women, I will be honest about that, but I do think that men can do photography well, and I think they can make a lot of money from it if they do it the right way. But why is boudoir photography lucrative? It's because the demand is driven by powerful client base. It's women over 30 typically. These women typically do have a disposable income, maybe not as much as it was a couple years ago, but they do have disposable income. They want to feel beautiful and they're ready and willing to invest in themselves. So consider this. Your ideal client regularly spends between $600 to probably $1,000 on Botox every few months. She spends about $300 on her hair care every other week or every 8 weeks, $150 a month on her nails, I'd say easily, $50 a month on her gym membership, more for teeth whitening, hair removal, eyebrows, tanning. Those aren't even the women who regularly visit their esthetician or plastic surgeon. These are just normal women who are just doing this for maintenance. When it comes to capturing their essence and beauty in a timeless and intimate way, these women over 30 see the value and they're prepared to pay for a premium service. So let's break this down just a little bit more. Unlike family photography, which many view as a commodity, where $300 might seem like the cap of what clients are willing to pay, boudoir photography is seen as a unique once-in-a-lifetime experience. Even if it's not once in a lifetime, they still see it that way. It's not something that they can see themselves doing every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. This perception shifts the mindset and how much they're willing to spend a lot. Clients are looking for an expert, someone who knows exactly how to use their lighting, how to use their posing, what angles will be the best for each woman. Like, they seek a professional who will not only make them feel beautiful, but also empowered and confident as well. Another thing, privacy policy plays a huge role in the perceived value of boudoir photography. Most women aren't going to pursue these sessions to post the images all over social media. While there will be a few, most aren't. Instead, they are preferring that these beautiful albums are offered in an elegant way to display their images and their privacy. They want these to be private most of the time. Now, albums are most often the priciest item on your price list, right? And because of this and their desire for an album, that means that by the time that they book a session, they've pretty much sold themselves into an album without you saying anything. They pretty much know that when they walk out of your boudoir studio with their final product, it is going to be an album. But also, a lot of these women have some sort of partner in their life and they want to maybe spice up their relationship, and maybe their husband or their significant other wants the women to do the session and they're willing to pay for it. We have this pretty often. This readiness to invest by more than one person, it's just another thing that makes Boudoir such a lucrative business venture. By providing a luxury experience from the moment they book the session all the way through to the delivery of their beautiful images, clients see the value in paying top dollar for this service. They're investing in a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's celebrating them, and it makes them feel seen, appreciated, and desired. Now, the next thing that a lot of people are not going to tell you about boudoir photography, it provides freedom. And if you're someone who values control over your schedule, you desire a balanced lifestyle while running a profitable business, you may want to consider boudoir photography. I know you may already know this, but I brought in a cumulative $1.5 million since 2017, and I've shot about 850 sessions or so while working less than 20 to 30 hours a month for the past 7 years. So I want you to know that not only can you make money as a boudoir photographer, you can also run this profitable business while you're building your own schedule, while you're hanging out with your kids, while you're taking them on vacation, while you're going on vacation yourself. Like, boudoir photography gives you so much freedom. It's unreal. I never knew this when I started my business. All I wanted to do was get out of my 9-to-5. It has given me such a different lifestyle than I had when I first started. When I picked up my camera, I had no idea that my life would be where it is now. And I am so thankful for that camera and boudoir photography. One of the significant benefits of specializing in this niche is that you don't have to work weekends unless you want to. That's a game changer for those of us who cherish our personal time or have families. Most boudoir clients prefer weekday appointments for privacy, often taking a day off to enjoy their session without rushing or worrying about ruining a surprise. This scheduling preference gives you the opportunity to keep your weekends free. That gives you more work-life balance, and I know that you crave that if you're listening to this podcast. A lot of people actually believe that this is impossible to achieve in photography because most people think that photography clients just want to book when they are already off. But what I found is with boudoir photography, that is not the case at all. Now, most photographers do spend the bulk of their time behind the computers in Lightroom or Photoshop, and that doesn't sound like fun, but the recent advancements in technology have actually revolutionized how we handle post-production work. With AI tools like Imagen and Evoto, the bulk of culling, color correcting, even detailed retouching, that can be handled efficiently and cost effectively, and it reduces the cost to like 10 cents per image and the time spent on each image to practically nothing. The integration of technology doesn't just save money, it slashes the hours you typically spend editing. Like, imagine redirecting that time into other areas of your business or your personal life even. While the final touches still need a human eye, the heavy lifting done by AI tools ensures that you spend less time behind the computer, more time behind the camera, or living your life, and you know how important I think that is. In addition to AI making post-production workflow so much faster, the boudoir photography business model typically involves client purchasing only a handful of images per session. That significantly reduces your editing workload. So we don't even present color-corrected photos during the initial viewing sessions. With our studio, clients are advised to focus on pose, expression, and they're often surprised to learn that the images that they're seeing are straight out of the camera. This transparency not only establishes trust, but it also enhances the value of your skills as a professional. The other thing is the nature of boudoir photography allows you, the photographer, to be selective with your clients. And this isn't just about who you work with, but also when you work. Many boudoir photographers thrive by operating the way that I do, which is 30 hours a month while still generating income. All of these things with boudoir photography gives you so much freedom, and I just cannot harp on it enough how much freedom boudoir photography has given me in my life. To be honest, I don't even know that my husband and I would be together if I didn't have the boudoir photography business that I have right now, because I have so much freedom. I can just go with him wherever he's at, fly back to the studio if I need to photograph a session, and then spend our time, like, we can spend our time together while he's off on a job and have real quality time. Whereas if I was at a 9-to-5 at home while he was off on the road working, I don't know how it would work, because for me, My love language is quality time. And if I'm not feeling like I'm getting the quality time that I need, I don't know that our relationship would have worked, let's be honest. So I do think that the quality time that boudoir photography can give you, even in your relationship, is so worth it. Now, the third thing that no one's going to tell you about being a boudoir photographer is how it changes the lives of your clients. I think a lot of us actually know this, but it really is a significant positive impact you can have on a woman's self-perception and confidence. I mean, I think that I knew it, but I don't think that I really knew it when I started it. I started photography just wanting, I loved the fashion side of boudoir photography. I loved the editorial part. Like, you can see my style on our website, tkboudoir.co. You can see that I love that editorial side. But I didn't realize how impactful it can be on a woman's life until I really got into it, until I started booking more and more clients. But at its core, boudoir photography is a journey that many women embark on that helps them rediscover their beauty just the way that they are. That is literally our tagline in TK Boudoir, is discover your beauty just the way you are. And it really is true. Boudoir photography is powerful. It's a way to challenge and change the narrative around body image. That is something that in our boudoir business we are really, really focused on, is changing the way that women see themselves. As women, we really do play a critical role in this process. We establish a no negativity zone in our personal lives and in our studio where we don't allow negative self-talk. We really don't. If positivity seems like too far of a stretch, we aim for neutrality. Like, that's it. This approach is about shifting focus from flaws to features, from insecurities to celebration. It's about seeing yourself not through a lens of criticism, but through one of acceptance and appreciation. So consider the story of Amber. She was a 40-year-old woman. She stepped into our studio, and society wanted to define her as a mother and a nurse, but we saw her as so much more. In the studio, she was fun, she was sexy, she was lively, she was sensual, and we saw her for how incredible she is. She used her session to see herself the way that the world may not recognize. And after her session, she actually told us that she felt beautiful and desired and appreciated by her husband again. And she committed to hyping herself up every day. We have other clients like Samantha. She's a woman who's battling infertility, and it's a struggle that led to a very negative relationship with her body. Her session was super emotional, but it became a form of healing, a celebration of her body, not for its functionality, but for its beauty and strength. Her session was powerful, and it definitely countered that narrative of the feelings of inadequacy or the failure that accompanied such personal challenges. It offered a moment of empowerment and affirmation that she is more than her struggle. We have women that have come in that are literal models that get paid to model, and they are feeling insecure about different parts of their body. And we told them, the one client that I'm thinking of specifically, we told her that her photo of the body part that she is most self-conscious about was the photo that every woman comes in wanting that specific photo. They show Ashley this photo and they're like, I want this photo. Can you please recreate it? So once we told her that, she was like, oh my gosh, that is my most self-conscious body part. Like, I am the most self-conscious about that. And she had a very emotional session even, because she was like, I really should love my body for what it is. That's the beauty of boudoir photography. It's in the stories, and we have countless stories just like this, but each session is a chance to make a difference in someone's life, to help them see their true self, not just their true beauty, but like their self. And it might be the first time in a long time that they actually do that. So it's a privilege to witness and document these personal transformations. When clients view their photos and they can hardly believe it's them, it's like heartwarming, but it's also just a testament to the impact of boudoir photography. So if you only get one thing from this episode, I want you to know that I truly think that boudoir photography is the best genre of photography. I think it's the best career path that any photographer could have. It does take a lot of work to build the business so that it is lucrative so that it does provide you the freedom that you want and so that it can transform the women's lives, but it is worth the work that you put in. I will say, even though I have the freedom that I have now, even though I'm able to make money with my boudoir business and more than support myself, I will say it did not just happen overnight. It took about 4 to 5 years to get it to where it actually was profitable and gave me the freedom that I wanted. So I want you to know that if you are struggling right now, it's totally fine. I'm actually offering 15-minute coaching calls. They're totally free. If you want to jump on a call and talk to me about what you're struggling with in your business, where you need some help, if you just have a question and you want to pick my brain, I am totally open to that. Jump on that 15-minute coaching call. I will leave the link in the show notes. Find a time that works for you. If there's no time that works for you, DM me on Instagram at It's Tracy Lynn, and we can talk about what might work better for you, or you can just pick my brain in Instagram. So let me know how I can help you, because I really do think that boudoir photography is the business that you need to be in if you're a photographer. So I will hopefully see you on one of those free coaching calls. But if not, I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.